channel. Welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So I've not done a video on crypto unicorns for quite a long time, but I have been slowly sort of messing around with it. And partly that's because, as with lots of blockchain games, the price of everything has come down considerably. So obviously this is not investment advice, but I find it interesting to play games sort of when everyone else has sort of left. And assets that were very expensive then become cheap. And I think at that point you can start to sort of understand maybe a bit more about the game, what's supposed to happen with it, and also maybe a bit about maybe sort of what went wrong. If something did go wrong, I'm not saying something did go wrong with Crypto Unicorns, but definitely Crypto Unicorns was a game that was sort of highly anticipated. The developer in the US raised, I can't remember, $20 million or something to make the game. There were, I think, quite a lot of guilds were interested in this. The assets, so this is the land assets, were at some point selling for round about sort of, I don't know, half to 1 ETH. Now they're down to 0.02 or something, the cheapest ones. So it's sort of interesting now to sort of see what's going on with it. So if you saw my first video, originally I had one land and one unicorn. So the minimum you need to play the game basically at the moment, as the game is one land, because land is where you sort of plant things and breed unicorns and all that sort of stuff. So you need at least one land. You don't need a unicorn to sort of start the farming side of things. But you know, sort of the minimum really was one unicorn and one land, which is what I bought, you know, ages ago. Still have those, and now I've bought another land and another couple of unicorns actually. So I've got 3 unicorns at the moment. There's this whole thing going on with if you have the right sort of land. I didn't buy the right sort of land, so if you buy a sort of they have like an adjacency bonus. So if you buy some land that has the same sort of I don't know what qualities, I suppose, you can get some bonuses on that. So I haven't managed to figure that out yet. Maybe later on, we'll see. But so this is the first land I got, so we're going to have a look at that. And this land has been leveled up to level 4. So you level up by basically leveling up your individual sort of buildings. So in this case now, on level 4, I can have 7 buildings. I've only got 6. In level 3, I can have 6 buildings. So I haven't added another one yet. And you sort of, you know, with these buildings all have different functions and different levels. So here is where we do crafting. And if I want to upgrade my workshop, I have to have these elements here to upgrade. Obviously, as the level goes up, you need more of these attributes. And you create these. This is planks and this is nails, and you sort of create these by crafting. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. You create these by crafting them. And to craft things, you need a unicorn. So you have to sort of choose a unicorn to do the work for you, so to speak, and then also to make these materials, these crafting materials, you need uses up some energy. So uses up some energy on your unicorn, uses up some of this token, I can't remember what this one's called, but anyway, that token, and some berries and different sort of stuff. So and that's sort of how the basic thing works. These are obviously farms where I've planted some seeds, and that gives me some sort of other materials. I've got a nursery which I've not upgraded at all, which I can breed things with. I've got a stables which gives me the XP and additional benefits, and increases the amount of unicorns I can use. And then there's this one which is gathering, which is basically like a little mission. So I've got my squiggly 0 unicorn off gathering some stuff, and he'll come back, or it will come back, and it will have probably found some seeds that I can plant. And so that's what's going on there. This plot of land I've just planted. This is only level 3, so I've got 6 buildings. These are all just farming different yeah, I'm just growing stuff. So you can see if we go here, that's not the way to do it, is it? So go to inventory. These are all the items that I've got. So I've been planting all these things, various types of seeds that give various sort of attributes. I've got some boosts for breeding, which I haven't done any breeding yet. I've got some unicorns. So I've got 3 unicorns. Unicorns have a certain amount of energy, and that gives them the amount of tasks they can do, and the energy sort of refills over time. These hearts are how many times they can breed. So this one was a really cheap one I bought, and this one's been bred sort of how many is that, 6? So you can do 8 breeds, and then you can't breed anymore, obviously, to sort of stop people just breeding out all the time. So this one was super cheap, but can't do any breeding. It's not so useful. And then these ones are doing missions at the moment, and then obviously 2 lands I've got here. So that's sort of what's going on. So what I need to do now is I need to update my nursery, I think. So to do that, I need 3 frayed rope. I also need 3 raw wood planks. I've got 11, so that's fine. I need the frayed wood. The frayed rope. So normally what I would do is I would go in and craft this. So I would choose the frayed rope, but I haven't got the 50 plain berries that I need, so I can't do that. So the other way of doing that, which I've only just worked out because I'm a bit slow, is the marketplace. So the marketplace is, I assume, a sort of just a marketplace amongst other players. So I've not worked out exactly how this works because I've got some cloud seeds and this is the price and I can't sell them. So I think I have to probably level up something to a certain point at which I can actually start selling stuff. But I can buy stuff. So for the longest time I couldn't work out why I couldn't buy things, and obviously it was because I didn't have enough tokens. So I had to go onto an exchange and buy some of these rainbow tokens. The price of these is now the lowest it's ever been, sort of thing. So this is like about $5 worth or something. So what I want here is I don't need to buy farm items actually. I just want to go into the crafting items. So what I want is some frayed ropes. It looks like I can buy 100 frayed rope for 23. So let's see if this works. I've not done this yet. So there we go. Yeah, I want to do that. I was saying not enough in my stash. Are you sure you want to complete the let's see. So there's one of the issues actually with crypto unicorns is it sort of has this sort of off-chain, on-chain sort of thing going on there. So the assets run on Polygon, but it takes it into it has its own I don't know if it's its own scaling solution or its own infrastructure. I don't know quite the best way of describing that, but there is this way of you have to take stuff from the sort of your MetaMask wallet into the sort of the game state, and that's what they call sort of syncing or stashing. So I wonder if doesn't want to do that. So that's not a very good video, is it? So we have this other thing here where we can stash out, which is where you sort of move things in and out. But it's syncing with that. So I guess this sort of goes to one of the issues, I think. I mean, not just with this game, but I think with lots of blockchain games there is this issue of what's happening on chain, and there are some games that are sort of purely on chain. So every asset is held on chain, and you sort of everything you do in the game requires a transaction on the blockchain, and that is sort of clear for people. It's also makes the game slow because every time you're waiting for a transaction, which even on Polygon is not instantaneous. So there is this whole advantage of having things that are sort of off-chain. There's different ways of doing that, but basically that means you're sort of running them on a less secure infrastructure. It might not even be a blockchain, might be a centralized server. So you can do things immediately as you would expect in a non-blockchain game because you're just running it on a server. But then you have this sort of complication where where are the assets and how do you communicate that with the player base, and that can sort of in a sense be, I think I found in general that can be the most complicated thing of knowing you have assets and you're not sure where it is, and the thing's syncing, and that takes time because it's moving between blockchains or moving between the centralized server and a blockchain, and you have all the sort of issues about has the thing done enough confirmation transactions for it to have gone through or not, blah blah blah. So I think in terms of the user experience, that is sort of a key thing for blockchain games is and it's not necessarily. I think it's not necessarily. I think most games will have some on-chain stuff and some off-chain stuff, but it's how you communicate that to the players. I think is super important. Right, I'm gonna have a fiddle around and see if I can work out what's going on here. So I can. Okay, so I think this will work now. It still says not enough in stash. So I think what we're saying is it's not enough in the stash. So do you want to complete this with a blockchain transaction? So I mean, this is weird because this says 26, and I assume this is in the stash anyway. It seems to be working now. So basically, it's going to grant permission, and I'm going to have to. So I'm doing a blockchain transaction on the Polygon blockchain. So first thing I'm doing is granting permission because I've not allowed my MetaMask. I've not allowed the smart contract to use these tokens before. So that just every time you use a token in a wallet, you have to basically grant permission for that to happen. So that will just take a certain period of time, hopefully. Okay, looks like something's happening now. I'm not quite sure what syncing process is. I think, yeah, I'm really confused about what this stash thing is. Okay, looks like we have success in terms of I have 101 frayed rope now. I can actually sell them. That's interesting. So obviously you need a certain number in order. Yeah, obviously. So this all makes sense now. So in order to sell raw wood plank, I need 100 of them. I've only got 11. I just never understood why these buttons were not highlighted. And again, these are sort of, once you see it, it's sort of really obvious. But most people like me, don't see the obvious sort of thing, and this is why sort of user experience, user interface is sort of super important. So I guess it's the same for crafting. Yeah, so I can't sell these because I don't have 50 of them. Right, so that all starts to make sense. Okay, good. And I do have some boosters, so I could sell my breeding booster. Oh, that's interesting. So while we're here, let's see what this does. So I have to sign a unicorn to sell it. Oh, that's really funny. So let's we can see just how this works. So I'll select my Karen, and I'm going to sell that. Okay, unicorn. Okay. Oh, so this is interesting. This is automatically. So automatically, it's going to take 8 hours, and it will sell this, and I'm going to get some rainbow. Okay, so that's interesting. So again, this sort of goes back to how people are. I mean, this is the problem with a lot of blockchain games, in the sense that people with people with a lot of assets are generating a lot of rainbow. Now, obviously, they're probably using rainbow in certain ways, but equally, if you're very big, if you invested a lot, you sort of want this as an extractive token. Yeah, I'd have to look more exactly how their economy is working here, but you can kind of see how a lot of this token is being created, which potentially means people are sort of selling it. Anyway, so let's sell this. That's interesting. So that one's gone now, and in 8 hours' time, my this unicorn rainbow token will have gone up. Okay, that sort of makes sense. So that's good to see that breeding thing in there. Okay, right. So now I've got loads of rope. I can go in and do this. So I can upgrade my nursery, and so that's happened really quickly. That's not a blockchain transaction. That's obviously just happening, super fast. Now I haven't got enough raw wood, so I'm gonna have to go and buy some wood. Actually, the other thing I was going to do while I've got these, so some of these are level 3 and some are level 2. So I don't know if I can. I can upgrade these. I can't upgrade these while they're planting, but I can use some of these. So some of the, I think 2 of these are level 3. So this is the land that I bought. So someone's upgraded these a little bit, but not too much. So okay, so that's good. So now what I need to do is I'm going to need some planks, but I haven't got enough of plain berries. So what I might want to do now I'm obsessed with the market. I haven't got any money, but I might want to buy some plain seeds, and I haven't got enough money to do that. So I need to. But will I have enough when I? Yeah, so I will have enough in 8 hours' time when my booster has been sold, because then I'll have 10, and then I can come back in and buy some more plain seeds, which then I can plant, and then I can get what I need. So you can kind of have some idea of how the economy sort of starts to work on these things. And I do kind of think, one of the sort of issues for blockchain games is, this sort of stuff is now got me sort of, interested. I don't think it's not a super complicated economic sort of process here. It's not a deep tech tree like we would have in a strategy game or something, or a civilization. But you can kind of start to see how these things sort of fit together. The problem with a lot of blockchain games, particularly if the asset price goes up at the start, is people just can't afford to buy all these sort of things. So probably at one point, if I had 2 land and 3 unicorns, that would have probably cost me at the peak. That would have probably cost me a couple of $1,000s. So clearly that's not something that anyone can really be doing, or very few people can be doing. And so the problem is, I think, in terms of game design, is if people are only getting the minimum asset, they're really there's a lot of stuff they're just not getting, and they're getting it very slowly. And that's again another big problem for blockchain games that sort of require NFTs. Whereas I think you're building, and we're seeing it a lot more of this now. If you're sort of building your game with a free-to-play element, then people, at that point, if it's free-to-play, then people can or are prepared to spend time sort of grinding slowly to get to somewhere. And then, but also that gives you the ability to say, but if you have this NFT, you get this quicker, and then that's a bottom-up way of showing how a game works, rather than this, which is a top-down way, which basically I had to wait till all the asset prices sort of collapsed so I could spend what would have been 3,000 $2,000 to actually get these things. So you know, I think that's the moral of the story. I mean, more generally about Crypto Heroes. I mean, this is only sort of the first bit of the game. There is some other stuff going on now. I just got some crypto unicorn poop, which has given me some seeds for free. So there will be other things in the game. There's going to be like mini games and jousting and a whole bunch of other stuff. So certainly this is not the totality of crypto unicorns. There'll be some other stuff going on. I mean, I guess whether the problem with all blockchain games is once your token price has dropped to 99% of what it was at all-time high, then it becomes very difficult to recover sort of your audience excitement. So we'll see if they do that or not. Just while I'm here, I can build something. I can build another farm. There we go. So I can build that farm there. There we go. Although that's only going to be level. It's going to be level 1, isn't it? I can upgrade that straight away. Use some of my wood. There we go. Probably upgrade that again now because I've not got any stuff planting on it. There we go. And now I can let's go and plant something, shall we? Have I got any spare unicorns at the moment? Oh, there we go. Sweaty Duke. So I can I can select her, and I can I can select a seed. There we go. So let's get her going and do that. So there we go. So that's a rather probably prolonged version of what's going on with crypto unicorns. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.